I just recently watched Kino Lorber's version of Pretty Baby. Now, this is a movie here that I've been watching since I was a little kid. It's something that's just been part of my life. I've enjoyed the film. It's one of the reasons I've enjoyed 70s cinema, appreciating the cinematography, the acting, the pacing, everything about that. Now, this one here, it does come with all kinds of controversy, and from the day that it was made to till now, it still holds up. It hasn't really changed. I don't think that this is a hard watch, but definitely an uncomfortable watch. And I would argue that Hound Dog is a hard watch, where this one here, I think that they did a very tasteful job at the subject matter. The subject matter being child prostitution. I think everybody here involved in the movie, Keith Carradine, Susan Sarandon, Brooke Shields, obviously, Louis Malle, did a phenomenal job. But the one person I don't think gets enough credit when this movie gets talked about is Polly Platt. Polly Platt did the screenplay, and she co-wrote the story with Louis Malle. Other than that, I think that the things that are said about this, the conversations that are had, I think they're spot on. I mean, I'm not here to tell you, you should watch this movie or you should not watch this movie. That's totally up to you. There is a fascination behind it, but as far as the film goes, I think it's an excellent film. The subject matter and the controversy that's surrounded by this, totally, I understand it. And even if they had taken that stuff out and it wasn't as controversial, the subject matter still is. And so, how do you go about making a film like this without talking about it or implying it? So this one here, it's one of those. It's totally up to you whether you're going to be able to enjoy this or not. But I have always thought this was a fine film. And just watching it again last night, the Kino Lorber version, I think they did a phenomenal job. Now, recently I had picked up the Imprint film. I think the packaging in the Imprint film is a little bit better. It does come with this hard case. So it has the original movie poster, has the version of this film. Every version of this film I've ever seen has this on the cover, but just doing that different touch, I kind of enjoyed that. But they have the exact same special features, where the Kino Lorber version does add a Leonard Maltin commentary track and a few trailers from other movies that the actors and actresses were in. And other than that, the DTS surround sound. This has the original 2-channel audio, where this has a DTS track. That was a little bit noticeable. I enjoyed it. And the only other thing was, I think this version was a little bit lighter. In the very, very beginning, it was noticeable. Throughout the rest of the film, I didn't notice any difference. But in the very beginning, this one is kind of dark, and this one is a little bit lighter. So the scene takes place over the town. Susan Sarandon's having a baby. You hear all of that. It's at night, and so the whole town is dark and black, where this one here was just a tad lighter. And like I said, throughout the rest of the film, I didn't notice any other differences. But this is, so far, has been my favorite version of the movie. And it does, like I said, it comes with all kinds of controversy, but I think everybody involved in making the film did an excellent job. And the other person that I don't think gets enough credit, and it's noticeable to me enjoying 70s cinema, that I think is kind of lacking today because everything gets fixed in post, is Sven. And I'll never get his last name right, so I'm not even going to try. But Sven, who is the cinematographer on the project, did an amazing job at the lighting. So most of the entire movie takes place inside the house, and it feels very, very natural. There's no issues with it. There's no, like, from every scene, apparently, and as I was watching the documentary on it, every scene he had lit the whole house instead of just the scene, just the room. So when there happened to be transfers or moving from one room to another, it just felt very natural. So that was really noticeable compared to watching some of the modern stuff, where I think he was a master at his craft. I think everybody involved was pretty much a master at their craft. But an interesting watch. The commentary is worth watching. Brooke Shields' take on it is worth watching. And that, let me know in the comments down below. Let me know if you've seen the movie, if you were thinking about picking up the Kino Lorber version. Like I said, it is one of those difficult, uncomfortable watches. With that, I'll catch you next time.